Hey gamers, welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Gaminatrix here, and today we're hitting the gritty streets of Liberty City to answer one burning question. Is GTA IV the best Grand Theft Auto game of them all? Alright, y'all settle down and buckle up folks, because this ride's gonna be wilder than a car chase with a 5-star wanted level. And before we jump right in, two things I want to mention. First of all of our love and kisses and hugs and good intentions, whatever it is that we can send to our fellow Texans who have been suffering due to all the inclement weather. We have also kind of been hit, not even as close to as bad as what some of our fellow Texans have been experiencing. So if you know anybody in Texas, or there's a favorite charity that you'd like to donate to here in Texas, please, we encourage you to do so. So many people have lost so much and could really use your help. And we could use your help too here. That's the second part of this is, please make sure, give us a thumbs up, a like, a subscribe, or say hello in the comments. Something. Okay. Give us something, help us out. We suffered some losses too, just not, we didn't lose our home, but yeah, it's been rough down here for us in Texas, really. Not to make it humorous, but as we say in Texas, sometimes you gotta laugh to keep from crying. Alright, so jumping right into it, before we get any deeper into GTA IV itself, let's take a quick trip down memory lane to see how it all began. The Grand Theft Auto series started way back in an ancient time known as 1997, and its first release was on November 28th. That's right, I said November 28th, 1997. This legendary franchise is over 2 decades old, and I know that is longer than some of you have been alive. Amazing, right? It goes to show you can make sequels and have each one do better each time. So the original Grand Theft Auto, of course, was a far cry from the 3D open world that we know and love today. It featured a top-down perspective, and the premise was simple, but nonetheless thrilling. You played as a criminal working your way up through the ranks of organized crime by completing various missions. And the game was set across count them, 3 different cities: Liberty City, Vice City, and San Andreas. Sounds familiar, right? Alright class, let's continue. And I gotta tell you guys, it really was very, very thrilling. I grabbed this one when it first came out on a whim. And me and my girls, we played this at work every Sunday for our entire 8-hour shift. It was the only thing that made work bearable at a call center. And of course, the women that I played with were not gamers by any stretch of the imagination, but it just goes to show you what I believe is that if you make a good game, it can transcend everything. Alright, so now despite the primitive graphics, by today's standards at least, the first GTA was indeed groundbreaking for its open world design and the sheer freedom that it offered to players. You could drive, run, and cause all sorts of mayhem, which quickly became part of the series' trademark. And my favorite thing was what they used to call the damage engine back when the game was first released. And all that is that you can see damage on the car when you hit things. It would explode or catch fire and eventually explode. And I thought that was the coolest thing ever. And so a lot of times, much to the chagrin of my friends, would wreck a car on purpose. Okay, I still do that, don't I? Okay, so from these particular humble beginnings, the series evolved dramatically with each installment, including some new features, more complex narratives, and more immersive worlds, so that by the time GTA IV rolled around in 2008, the series had already established itself as a cultural phenomenon. But GTA IV took things to a whole new level with its realistic portrayal of Liberty City and its deeply emotional storyline. So while GTA IV does stand tall on its own merits, it's important to remember the foundation laid by the original game. From a top-down 2D game to a sprawling 3D masterpiece. That is quite a journey for GTA. So now that we've taken a nostalgic detour, let's go back to our main quest, or question, which is GTA IV the greatest Grand Theft Auto of them all? I don't know. Let's talk some more. So first, GTA 4 was first released in 2008, and it made a massive impact on the gaming industry with its immersive open world environment and gritty storyline, and it set a new standard for what an action-adventure game could and should be. And who can forget Niko Bellic? Oh, that's my honey. He is our favorite Eastern European immigrant navigating the American dream one high-speed car chase at a time. Now, first, let's go ahead and address the elephant in the room before we continue. Despite its critical acclaim, GTA IV was not without its controversies. Some fans argued that it fell short in comparison to other entries in the series, pointing out the game's pacing and those notoriously slippery driving mechanics. I mean, seriously, who knew that Liberty City streets were coated in butter? I personally didn't have a problem with the driving because that's how I drive in real life, so that was good for me. And of course, who could forget the hot coffee mod? Now, before, that means it's time for a side quest before we even go even further. We'll stop you one more time. Now, let's talk about another little spicy tidbit in GTA history. The infamous hot coffee scandal. Before you all get too excited, and some of you that are OG gamers are like, I wasn't even in GTA 4. No, it was not. It was in a predecessor, GTA San Andreas. However, its impact rippled through the series, including the development and reception of GTA 4. So for my next gen gamers out there who might not know about the hot coffee mod, I know my younger clone who was not aware of the hot coffee mod. Thank goodness, means I was a good mother. It was a mini game hidden in the code of GTA San Andreas that was later unlocked by modders, and it allowed players to engage in what we'll call explicit adult content. And this, of course, led to some massive controversies, including the game being rated as adults only by the ESRB, which in turn led to recalls and lawsuits. So you may be asking, how did this impact GTA 4? Well, Rockstar Games took several of the lessons that they learned from the predecessor to heart with GTA 4, and they ensured there were no hidden surprises that could trigger another firestorm. And when I tell you media firestorm, oh my gosh, it went all the way to the White House, not even joking. And this time, they were meticulous about the content, focusing on delivering a mature and polished experience without stepping into overly controversial territory. GTA 4, of course, adopted a darker, grittier tone with a storyline centered on Niko Bellic's complex and often morally ambiguous quest in Liberty City. This shift towards a more serious narrative can be seen as Rockstar's response to the backlash from Hot Coffee, demonstrating that the series could offer depth and sophistication. And moreover, Rockstar was careful with the game's rating. They worked very closely with the ESRB to ensure everything was above board. And this meant that while GTA 4 still had its fair share of mature themes and edgy humor, it was all within the boundaries set to avoid another scandal. So in essence, the hot coffee scandal indirectly shaped GTA 4, pushing Rockstar to refine their approach and deliver a game that balanced maturity with responsibility. The focus on the deep narrative and complex characters can be seen as a way to shift the conversation from controversy to quality storytelling. So while hot coffee isn't a direct part of GTA 4, the lessons learned from the episode undoubtedly influenced its development, helping to create a game that stands out for its ingenuity and uniqueness. So the too long didn't read version of that is Rockstar basically grew up, like we all have to, and you learn that you can still be a little edgy and keep your personality, but you can refine it just a little bit so it's not so rough around the edges. Now, let's not overlook what GTA 4 got right. The storyline. It was centered around Niko Bellic's quest for revenge in Liberty City, or redemption, depending on how you want to look at it. It's packed with memorable characters and intense moments, like Roman's bowling obsession. Did anybody remember that? Dude had some issues. Okay, so the gameplay mechanics introduced some new features like a cover system and improved AI, adding depth to the overall experience, and the recreation of New York in the form of Liberty City. Oh, chef kiss, iconic. I loved it. It was so nearly faithful to the original that I have never been to New York City, but a lot of movies that I watch, I can recognize, or old movies or new movies, I can recognize locales in those movies based on having just played GTA. That is fabulous work. Sorry, you know we're dev heavy over here. Now, what truly sets GTA 4 apart are its unique features. The moral choices players face, the complex relationships between characters, and the dark, gritty tone make it a standout in the series. The attention to detail in world building and the immersive storytelling have left a lasting impact on players. There's just nothing like GTA, really, when you think about it. Now let's take a moment to appreciate even more about GTA, the little things, like the radio stations, the in-game internet, the quirky side missions. All these elements combine to create a living, breathing world that I visited quite often during a hurricane, which is when I actually sat down to play this. I had no internet and no one in the city had lights. I did have lights, but I very carefully did not turn on my lights at night, and there's just nothing to do. You think you're fine, you know, if the hurricane, you have nothing to do, you'll be okay, but it will drive you a little batty. But I had Liberty City, and me and Nico Bellic tore it up, and I didn't for 1 minute feel like all those characters in the game weren't really there with me. I absolutely love it. Let's also not forget the humor in GTA. Who else remembers the heart-stopping moment of discovering a certain heart in Liberty City? And the commercials, like for Pisswasser beer, used to crack me up every time, or any of the commercials on the radio. Some of our greatest comedians in the country have voiced some of those commercials. It is absolutely fabulous. Now, let's shift gears and talk about the expansions and the downloadable content for GTA 4. Because Rockstar didn't just stop with the base game like so many do nowadays. They went above and beyond, giving us 2 incredible expansions that added even more depth to the world of Liberty City: The Lost and the Damned and The Ballad of Gay Tony. Now, first up, we're going to talk about The Lost and the Damned. It was released February 17th, 2009, and this expansion put players in the boots of Johnny Klebitz, and you can feel free to correct me in the comments if I said it wrong, but that's how I pronounce it, Johnny Klebitz. He's a member of the biker gang The Lost, and it was a gritty, rough and tumble ride through the darker corners of Liberty City, filled with motorcycle mayhem and gang wars. And the tone was even darker than the main game, offering a new perspective on the city's criminal underworld. Now, I can't say that I really remember playing this one much. I only have a very clear memory of the ending credits and the song, which was a song by Juliette Lewis called Inside the Cage, actress Juliette Lewis, who has a phenomenal voice, and seeing Johnny riding his motorcycle and somehow crossing paths with Nico Bellic, so they were on screen together for just a second, and I just lost it like I was, you know, at a concert or something. I was like, oh my god, there's Nico, there's Johnny, and they're together. Oh, this is how they connect. But I honestly don't remember how those stories connected. I just know they did somewhere. May have been something I heard over the radio playing. I have no idea. Anyway, if you know, let me know in the comments. Now, The Lost and the Damned received positive reviews for its strong story and character development, and as well as the new gameplay mechanics that it added, like the ability to call your gang in for backup. I don't think I ever did that, but it's a long time ago. I don't remember. Critics and players alike appreciated the added depth and the fresh take on Liberty City's gritty landscape. So you got to visit some areas of the map that you may not have frequented when you were playing as Nico Bellic. So it was really just genius idea to get you to go into some other areas of the city that you may not hang out in. Because, you know, when you play an open world game, you tend to frequent certain areas. Me, like in GTA 5, I spend a lot of time on Rodeo Drive. Okay, anyway, so then Rockstar hit us with a completely different vibe in The Ballad of Gay Tony, which was released October 29th, 2009. And my brain has decided that it came out Christmas of that year. I really don't know why. Maybe that's when I bought it, but I'm fairly certain I bought it when it first came out. This is one of my favorite games, so who knows. But this expansion followed Luis Lopez, the bodyguard and business associate of the flamboyant nightclub owner Tony Prince, aka Gay Tony. And this DLC brought back the glitz and glamour with high-flying action in a more vibrant color palette and a storyline that focused on the nightlife and high society of Liberty City. And the mini dance game, oh, I loved playing the mini dance game. That was just my absolute favorite. Now, The Ballad of Gay Tony was praised for its lively atmosphere, its engaging story, and the over-the-top action that felt like a return to the more playful and chaotic roots of GTA. and it provided a nice contrast to the main game with the Lost in the Damned, rounding out Liberty City's experience with a full I'm gonna get it one day, Gladys. One time I'm gonna do this whole show without one mess up. But as true fashion, we're transparent here. You get to hear the mess ups. We don't take them out. We don't take out our bloopers. All right. So the Lost in the Dam, of course, rounds out the Liberty City experience with a full spectrum of the city's life. So now both expansions were later bundled together in GTA episodes from Liberty City. And it gave players who missed the initial releases another chance to dive into these rich additional stories. And the public reception to these expansions was overwhelmingly positive, like a good Steam review, with many fans and critics applauding Rockstar for delivering substantial, high-quality content that extended the life and depth of GTA IV. Now, you may be sitting there going, so what? But for my next-gen gamers, I want you to get this. Put it into your brain, keep it there, keep it in your pocket. If you pay $70 for a game, you should not be able to complete it in 6 hours. It should take years to complete because Rockstar has already set the bar. That's why, years later, we're still playing GTA 5. I know I am. And it's been years and we still have another one coming out. And I will still go back and play GTA 4 and 5 even after 6 has come out. Because that's what I paid for. And I should still be finding new things. So remember, don't let them cheat you. Don't let them cheat you. You want a good experience to last years. Now, these expansions not only enriched the overall narrative of GTA 4, but also demonstrated Rockstar's commitment to delivering value-packed experiences. They set a high bar for what DLCs could be, not just add-ons or skins, which you've heard me talk about in a previous video, but fully fledged stories that could stand all on their own. So while GTA 4's base game was a masterpiece in its own right, the DLCs again took it up yet another level, providing diverse and immersive stories that kept players hooked. Whether you were rolling with the bikers in the Lost in the Damned or dancing the night away in the Ballad of Gay Tony, Liberty City felt more alive and complex than it ever did before. Okay, so now let's tune in to another interesting aspect of GTA 4, the music. The GTA series is renowned for its incredible in-game radio stations, featuring a mix of licensed tracks that set the perfect vibe for cruising through the streets. Oh my gosh, I love to just drive around in GTA. I am a firm believer that being able to cruise around in GTA is why we have so many YouTube channels where people just get in the car in GTA and just drive and let you look at the landscape and let the music play. Well, their own music because, you know, copyright here on YouTube. But it's still just such a lovely thing to just drive around someplace that you don't live and look at the landscape. Now, of course, the soundtrack wasn't without its controversies. One of the biggest controversies that hit for music was years after GTA 4's release. So in April of 2018, Rockstar announced that they would be removing some of the songs from the games due to expiring music licenses. This included several iconic tracks, such as those on the in-game Russian radio station Vladivostok. I do not speak Russian, so if I pronounce it incorrectly, I apologize to my Russian listeners. Hey, sorry, I don't speak any Russian. So fans, of course, were understandably upset, and the music in GTA 4 wasn't just background music. It's an integral part of the game's atmosphere and nostalgia. So losing all these tracks felt like losing a piece of Liberty City itself. A piece of your heart. I personally had two songs that I always listened for, and my friends are probably going, oh no, she's about to mention that song. Yes, I am. It's called Where's My Money by Busta Rhymes. If I was playing that when we were on a mission, even once we were able to do co-op or just by myself, oh, it was about to go down. And of course, I think it's Inside My Love by Minnie Riperton. And some of you are like, who is Minnie Riperton? You may not know her, but you know her daughter, Maya Rudolph. Minnie Riperton was the Mariah Carey of her time. Whistle Register. Let me just put that in your head. Anyway, go look up that song. Really good song. Lovely to cruise to. So anyway, Rockstar did replace some of the removed tracks with new ones to refresh the playlist, but it was a bittersweet change. So while it kept the in-game radio station alive and kicking, many players still miss the original songs that had become synonymous with their gaming experience. I know, it makes you sad, doesn't it? I feel so hurt. Okay, back to it. Despite these bumps in the road, the radio stations in GTA 4 remain a beloved feature. The eclectic style of music, from hip-hop to rock to Eastern European pop, added a unique flavor to the game's world, making every drive through Liberty City a memorable one. So while the music controversies might have left some fans a bit sour, they also highlight just how much passion and connection players have with each and every aspect of the GTA experience, right down to the last beat. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. While GTA 4 may not be everyone's favorite, it's mine. It undeniably holds a special place in the hearts of many fans. Its rich narrative, diverse gameplay, and realistic world make it a standout title in the Grand Theft Auto series. And ultimately, whether it's the best GTA game is subjective. And we also have a brand new GTA on the horizon, so who knows what delicious greatness it'll bring to us. But there's no denying that GTA 4 had a great impact on the gaming landscape and pop culture. So tell me, what do you think down in the comments? Do you believe GTA 4 is the best GTA game of all of them? So far, anyway. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button. And subscribe for some more gaming content. And ring our bell. That was one of the songs on the soundtrack. Anybody remember Ring My Bell? Anita Ward? Yes. So you never miss an upload. A special shout out to producer Gladys for rolling with me today. We've had a rough few weeks with this weather. Gladys ensures that the show runs smoother than Nico's driving, or rather smoother than my driving. So I'm going to tell you guys thank you for watching.